In the Site Planning toolset, the Plant tool can be found in Landmark and Designer. Plant parameters are set by the definition. However, certain plant parameters can be adjusted in the Plant tool preferences or in the Object Info palette with the plant selected. With the Plant tool selected, we'll go through the different modes of the tool found in the toolbar. The first option we're going to look at is the Plant Definition Resource Selector. In this interface, you can select which plant definition you want to work with. This is the same interface and options found in the Resource Manager, but will point directly to plant resources by default. In the Resource Selector, a preview of the selected plant definition will be on the right side, with the plant data available under the preview. Select the plant symbol by double-clicking on it or highlighting it and then choose Select towards the bottom right corner. Once we've selected the plant definition, we're going to go to the Plant tool preferences to review the settings and the placement options for the selected plant definition. This first category on the left side is the definition. This will have the plant definition that we choose from the plant definition dropdown initially, but we can change it here if needed. If you want to review the definition settings, click the option in the bottom left, or Edit Plant Definition. The definition prescribes the 2D and 3D appearance, parameters, and botanical data for a specific type of plant. These will be the settings pulled into a plant object when placed using the definition, so these will generally be the default settings for that plant. If you need to change a setting for one specific instance of the plant, you do not want to change the settings in this dialog. In the Edit Plant Definition, we can set default settings such as the spread, height, and spacing under the Insertion Options category, the Latin name, common name, and price under the Schedule category, mass outlines and shadow settings in the Render category, and many different fields in the Plant Data category. If you're looking to add specific plant data, you can enter it manually, or you can select the Get Plant Data button. This will allow you to import plant data from your own database, our own database of thousands of plants, or one of our pre-made plant lists. On the right side of the Edit Plant Definition dialog box, there will be top plan or 2D representation of the plant and a 3D OpenGL preview of the plant. Under both previews, there will be an option for a Copy From symbol, which will allow you to copy the 2D or the 3D component from one of your other symbols if needed. If you do not have a symbol already created for the 3D component, you can use one of the following two options. Generate will make the 3D component a piece of generated 3D plant geometry, and the generated plant geometry can have its settings such as canopy shape, canopy spread, and height all set up in this dialog. Create From Image will allow you to select an image in your drawing to use for the 3D plant geometry. It will automatically convert the image into a 3D image prop that is needed for the 3D component of a plant. Once the definition is set up as you want, click OK to the Edit Plant Definition dialog. We're now looking at the Plant Tool Preferences dialog box again. We can now review the placement options on the left. The majority of these settings will be set to use the plant definition settings. However, you can change them for this instance of the plant if needed. Similar to the plant definition, size includes settings such as spread, height, and spacing. Schedule includes settings such as quantity type, price code, and schedule comments. And render includes settings such as outlines and shadows. The final two categories are not part of the plant definition. Annotation will allow the setup of tick settings, plant rotations, and diameter and height variations. Tag will allow for different settings on tags. Display adjusts if you want a tag or not, and the other settings adjust different aspects of the tag to make it look the way you want. Once the plant has all the desired settings, click OK in the bottom right. The first tool mode for the Plant tool is the Insertion mode. The Insertion mode will have 5 separate placement modes. Single Plant Placement mode is a single-click mode used to place a single instance of the selected plant. The second mode is Poly-Vertex mode. This is a multi-click mode. Click once where you want the first plant to be placed. Each subsequent click will place another instance of the plant in a single plant grouping. The third mode of the Plant tool is the Poly-Edged Space mode. This works similarly to the previous mode, except it will fill in the polys being drawn with plants along that poly based on the spacings in the plant settings. Rectangular Array mode allows you to draw a polygon-based shape, which will be filled with the selected plant. Note that when it places, it will place in a rectangular array, where there are clear rows and columns of the plant. The final mode for the tool is triangular array mode. This mode also works on polygon-based shapes. However, this will place the plants in a triangular array. Note the difference that the two modes provide when the same base shape is used. In the final three modes, poly-edge spacing, rectangular arrow, and triangular array, there will also be a mode in the toolbar for hedge mode. If this mode is off, the tool will fill the shape being drawn. If this mode is on, the polygon will be outlined with additional rows of plants. The number of hedgerows can be adjusted in the plant tool preferences under the placement options for size. Going back to the start of the toolbar, we are now going to look at the pickup mode. The pickup mode is used to quickly select a plant you already have in the drawing, and it will change your selected plant for placement to match that plant's settings. The final mode in the toolbar is the Apply mode. This mode uses the currently selected plant settings to convert a polygon, polyline, rectangle, circle, or arc into a plant object. The placement options modes are still important for the Apply mode, as it will impact how the plant is applied to the 2D shape. If a plant is placed using one of the plant modes that results in the plants being grouped as a single object, this can be changed after the plants are placed by right-clicking or control-clicking on the plants and choosing the option for Change Plant Grouping. Similarly to other tools in Vectorworks, all options and settings for the plant that is placed in the drawing can be adjusted through the Object Info palette after the fact. Any changes made through the Object Info palette will affect only the specific plant instance and will leave that plant definition intact.